Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Before you we have the Armageddon, a Tech 9 battleship. In this video I'm going to show you a PvP fit for this ship. There's a lot of other ships that can do the PvE side of it a lot better, but that's not to say that this ship doesn't fulfill a purpose in EVE Echoes. It most certainly does. What you're seeing here is the fire skin. This looks really cool. Unfortunately, here on the test server I'm unable to purchase skins, which is a real pain, but I would certainly want to equip my ship with this skin, especially if I'm out doing some PvP. I imagine the kill marks would also look very cool. So if we have a look at the attributes of the ship, we've got for every level of advanced electronic warfare, we have a bonus of 10% to the Nosferatu and Neutralizer optimal ranges. And for every level of battleship command bonus per level, we have a 40% bonus to drone DPS, which applies to all categories of drones, small, medium and large. Also 5% to the drone EHP and a 6-kilometer bonus to the drone control range. So this being a PvP fit, you can see the headline stats here with 4 pulse lasers. However, the ship is not biased towards a weapon platform, therefore using the neutralizers and being very cap heavy, I would opt for something like this, which is the rapid large launchers. At the moment on the live server I'm using the large rapid launchers with very minimal skills and it is really good. Also, if I swap out my large pulse lasers here for the autocannon, you can see there with the difference in DPS, it's gone from 1078 to 1088. I gain 40 DPS by swapping from the large rapid launchers to the autocannons. However, autocannons, be it as it may, a viable choice, do require a lot of skills to be able to track things well, especially smaller ships, but these rapid launchers will hit very well. So what you put in the high slots comes down to your preference. Whatever you want to use, go for it. I just don't recommend using anything that consumes energy, as on the test server where I am right now, I've got all my skills maxed out at 5/5, so all my expert skills are 5 as well. So you'll have a bit less DPS than this and a bit more trouble managing cap, which is why you'll notice when I test this in space, I can manage my cap better. But just go with this build and you'll find that with your skills you'll be able to run for a lot longer in PvP. I've gone with 4 large neutralizers. PvP ship, your main job is going to be to take away ship's capacitor. If you can do that, you can shut off their tank, which really means you're doing a lot more damage without the tank running. A smaller amount of damage equates to a lot more damage, as we've all seen from these various Ashamu videos. So on the large neutralizer, you've got a 36-kilometer optimal range, which is amazing. That will go anywhere on a gate camp, and you've got a considerable fall off. I've got some Mark 9 ogres in here, which you could swap out to berserkers if you wanted some faster heavy drones. If you want the medium-sized drones, put in some Valkyries perhaps, or some hammerheads. But do have a few spare sets so that you're able to deal with different size ships as they either jump through a gate or whatever kind of fleet you're warping into. 2 cap batteries, that's because you won't have as good a skills as you're seeing here on the test server, and I think that I'll be able to maintain my cap really well because my skills are completely maxed. But in reality, if I bought an Armageddon tomorrow on the live server, I will definitely need the 2 cap batteries to run those 4 large nukes plus my shield booster. Speaking of which, my large C-type shield booster I could swap for something like a extender, depending on what type of PvP you're doing. But for small-scale PvP, I would prefer myself to have the large C-type shield booster to consistently keep my own shield topped up during engagements on gates. I think if you do the mathematics over a 60-second period, the C-type shield booster will do a lot more, but of course for a burst amount of damage the extender could be better. I've got 2 drone damage rigs loaded in the combat rigs, and I've got an anti-EM screen reinforcer. And for the engineering rigs, whether you're using 3 cap control circuits or you're using 2 cap control circuits and 1 semiconductor, they both do the same amount of cap time. So they're both helping out there quite equally. Running through some of the ship stats on the right there, you can see we've got 23,000 shield hit points, 33,000, almost 34,000 armor hit points, which is great. If people bleed through your shield, somehow you know you've got a massive chunk of hit points for them to get through before you go down, and 28,000 structure. So yeah, that's going to make a big difference. You'll see there the capacitors running on this build for 2 minutes 24. That doesn't factor in the batteries, which I'll show you in a moment. Scan resolution is appalling at 153 mm. So if you're on a gate camp, you might want to swap some of the CCC rigs for targeting rigs so that you can actually get on some kill mails. And if you're somebody that mostly does gate camps and you're in a fleet, you're really taking out single targets that are jumping through, so you're not going to need loads and loads and loads of time on the cap. So you might want a couple of those targeting rigs. And my navigation's not terrible at almost 200 meters a second. Again, you can experiment with this build. You can, if you need a prop mod, you can put a prop mod in the bottom. However, my missile launchers and my Nosferatu hit out to 35 odd kilometers, so I shouldn't need to do much moving, especially on a gate camp if I'm sat by the gate. You can see there I've got over 150,000 EHP with my adaptives running, which is really good. So I'm warping into an expert mission here. I just want to put all of my newts and have everything running to see how long we can keep it up for with the way I've put this ship together. So in a PvP environment, what you want to do with the newts, if you see there, yeah, we've got the 36 kilometer range, 21 fall off, and we're newting almost 700 cap per cycle. So you activate the first one, you count to 5 or 6 seconds, activate the second, and so on and so on. That way you're taking cap more frequently, rather than if you just activate all 4 modules at the same time, you're sucking 2,500, let's say, capacitor every 24 seconds. So there's a lot of time for them to get some cap back in between the cycles. The way I'm doing it now, every few seconds they're seeing 700 disappear, disappear, disappear. So on something like a cruiser, they won't be able to overcome that, and a cruiser would lose its cap and maintain having the cap really low. So I'm now putting some damage on this Condor. You can see this Condor is using a micro warp drive. It's a Condor a Condor 2, sorry, but it's a Tech 10 Condor 2, which is orbiting me very, very fast. Yet I'm still taking him down despite not having a web or a target painter or anything else, which is quite remarkable. You are going to have other ships in fleet doing the tackling for you with the way this would work, so you shouldn't have to worry about that too much, which then also means that whether you want to use the autocannons or strike cannons, for example, for the alpha damage, you know, you should be able to hit stuff if you're in a decent fleet that have some proper tackle ships. But you can see here I'm hitting these ships, taking them down. My capacitor here looks very, very manageable, and I can foresee that I should be able to run all of these modules indefinitely. I don't think I'd run out of cap, or perhaps if I was going to run out of cap, I mean, we're talking so long running this that it shouldn't matter in the size of fleet that I'll be fighting in. Yeah, pretty happy with this overall. I'm applying damage pretty well. You know, I've got some decent damage, and if you consider flying a ship like this in a fleet is costing, I would say, less than half the price of a Cinnable, and for its versatility and what this ship can do, it can probably put out more DPS than the Cinnable, plus it can neutralize pretty much any target's capacitor. This is a very, very handy ship, and what I love about this ship is anybody can fly one, because most people will have some drone skills and everybody can train a large weapon type of their choice, and you can literally mix and match this ship however you want. You could armor tank it if you really wanted to. However, to be optimal, you would want to have the shield tank. Both of those sets of skills don't take much to learn. So yeah, this is I would like to get one of these ships for PvP myself. However, as a lot of people know, I absolutely love my Bellicose Interdictor, so it's hard for me to go away from that ship. But some of my court mates will be using this, and yeah, hopefully we'll be having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, go out and get an Armageddon for PvP. I recommend it. Insure it so that if you lose it, it's not too much of a hit, because, you know, as soon as you go into nullsec, there's always that risk. And yeah, I hope this video's helped to give you guys a few ideas. As always, if you haven't already subscribed or hit the like button, please do so. And yeah, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the ship. Thank you all so much for watching.